Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Jackson and I are going to do one cast today. It is Sunday. I think it's the 12th. Yeah, 12th of November. It's about 4 o'clock in the evening. They're not running any water. I'm just up from the resort and I'm probably going to hit a couple places. I stopped here. The sun's just right there, about ready to go under the bluff. And when I was going by here, there's a whole bunch of fish over here midging in the shade. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the camera. Circle back around here. Okay. I have one of our new 50th ounce, actually it's 32nd ounce black jig, 2-pound line. I brought it and a 16th ounce black. I had somebody ask here a week or 10 days ago about give us a demonstration of how to throw a jig. I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit today. I'm going to see if I can catch a fish on the first cast here. See if I can target some of these fish that are coming up. In this case, I'm using something small. It doesn't sink fast. 2-pound line where I can throw something small. And of course, they quit coming up. Okay, I'm gonna throw blind. One just came up right there. So I'll let it sink just a little bit, but not much. I'm just gonna work it kind of fast and keep it close to the surface where these fish are actively feeding. Nothing on the first cast. Okay. So in this retrieve, I'm keeping my rod tip a little bit low and just kind of jerking it, trying to get them to chase. Then I'll stop it. And when it stops, it starts to sink and just see if something's going to hit it. That's one type of retrieve. Another type is just jigging it up and letting it sink. That's what we do most of the time. And there's all kinds of speeds, and you can jig it up hard, you can jig it up soft, you can kind of swim it. But when it's dropping, that's when they're going to hit it. So you got to pay attention to the feel. They might tap it or it might get tight. Or if you can see the line, it can pop up when it's sinking, just kind of twitch. Or if you're in deep water and you know your jig's not close to the bottom and it just goes limp, like it just hit the bottom, that means a fish has picked it up. and has stopped the jig from sinking. Set the hook. Now keep my rod tip high. And pay attention to the line that I can see. From the rod tip to the water. And I'm watching for anything that's different. Like I said, going slack early, or a twitch, or sometimes you can feel it. But that's when they're hitting that, that's when they're going to hit that jig, is when it's sinking. Depending on the size of jig, that dictates how fast it sinks. And I'm not getting any takers here. Always keep the rod tip high unless I'm swimming it and I've got the rod tip low, like I did at first. Fish right there. They're eating midges off the surface. Ooh, that was a good fish. I'm going to try one more time up here where this pretty good sized fish came up. Then we're going to go on up to where I had planned on going the first. I was headed up to another spot and I stopped here because all these fish that were active. That kind of looked like a bite. Oh, my line broke. Okay, that's a good time to move. It just broke right there in the middle. So we're gonna move up lake a little ways. I'm gonna re-rig. All right, I am just below Trout Hollow, a little ways. Not too far from where I was. And I've got a 1/16 ounce black jig on, 4-pound line. And I'm gonna work this area right here. I'll get a little closer to this this other bank here in just a minute. This time I'm letting the jig go all the way to the bottom and just kind of working it closer to the bottom, working it slow. Sometimes I can feel the bottom a little bit. So I'll just let that go until the line stops sinking and it stops moving on the water. Then I'll start working it back. So I'm letting it up, jigging it up and then letting it sink. It's almost a controlled sink, where I can still feel the jig. Reeling in the slack real slow. Sometimes those fish will hit that jig on the drop, the initial drop. Okay, let's try this other side. It's deeper over here. There it is. Oh, I thought he'd go on my outside. So I'm gonna reel in. I'm gonna go a little bit more to the shallow side here real quick. You don't have to fish the bottom. You just don't let it sink as long. There was a bump. I'm not going to let it go to the bottom this close to the bank. There are a lot of trees that are on the bottom over on this side. Try one more time, then I'm going to go back over to the other side. So I'm just kind of working it up and down, right down close to the bottom. Obviously, it's not something that they're wanting. This time I'm not going to let it sink. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to go on up and fish the flat above Trout Hollow. Can't do any worse. All right. Kind of right at the beginning of a log jump, just above Trout Hollow. Excuse me. And I've got the smaller jig on. This water, gosh, for a couple hundred yards, it's not as deep. Called a flat because it's the area between the channel switches sides. It switches sides from that side to this side here. So it's kind of a channel swing area. It's probably 5-6 foot deep here. Instead of back there, some of that water was probably 12-14 feet deep over by the docks. And they are midging over here pretty good. I can usually catch a fish on this small jig when they're midging like this. Mhm. I'm just kind of working it real slow right on the bottom. Boy. I guess it's deer season. That's over on the college land, I assume. Ooh, that was close. There's one. Worth that shot. Put the stir in the trout. We have a lot of deer around here. Lots and lots and lots of deer. It's a nice little trout. Little rainbow. It's interesting. There's not many places around here you can hunt. I mean, that's... Wow. That's got to be college land too. Hmm. The college is very particular who can hunt on their property, and my understanding is just the landlord can hunt. That sounds like two different positions. Landlord and his wife. For those outside of Missouri, it's gun season all this week for deer. It opened yesterday. Oop. Come back and hit it again. So I saw my line move. I should have set the hook, but I didn't. You just keep the boat moving just real slow. Just keep kind of working the whole area. You really don't want to throw in the same spot over and over. See, I felt him. A lot of times you can't feel him. When you jig, he's there, or you can see the line move. And he's pretty small. He's got a big belly, so that's good. He's getting lots to eat. Oh. Hopefully I got him fair hooked. When I jigged is when I hooked him. Sometimes he's going after it, and they'll get him in a place that's not in his mouth. Kind of feels funny, but oh, I got him. It's a brown. I got him towards the head. Yeah, I got him right underneath the throat. Just felt funny. That's one of these stalkers. Oh. He fell flat. he didn't have much color. Oh gosh. This is probably something you shouldn't do if you want to release a fish successfully. He actually didn't look healthy. He had kind of a film on his skin like he'd been handled, but I know. Oh, water's moving. They must be running a little bit of water now. Yeah, they just stocked 11,000 browns here about, there's another fish. About a month ago, a little less, 11,400 browns. Some of them on the bigger side. And I guarantee you that was one of them. Just didn't look very good. Didn't have a lot of color. Like I said, he had kind of a film, like he'd been handled, like a milky look. With that water starting, they might start biting pretty good. It's definitely running. The schedule says they're going to run it like 1 unit for an hour. That was a bump. I'm throwing in and around these trees that are in the water. Just a few more casts around these trees. I'll either hang a fish or I'll hang a tree. Oh, that's a good fish. I saw him. I hooked him just for a second. Looked like a brown too. He was pretty close to the surface so I could see him. I turned him. Hmm. Oh. Woo! They're getting smaller. Pretty little rainbow. They got a touch. Just about to the end of these logs. Pull a big brown out of here. All right, this is my last cast. Touched a log. That's not a log. That's a fish. It's a good fish. It's a brown. Get him away from these logs. Well, that's cool. Last cast. It's a good fish. I saw the color. I threw in those. I felt it pop over a log, and then it got tight, and I'm not sure if I got a real good hook set. Ooh, he's pretty. Oh, he is pretty. Sweet. don't think he's 20. Well, the hook came out, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's a triploid. He doesn't have an adipose fin. Adipose. Oh, I know it. See the nub on the back, right back here? Oh, he's pretty. Dropping fish today. Okay, my jig, I guess came out of the net too. Cool. Yeah, I got him right out of the trees. Okay. Wasn't so bad a trip after all. I was wondering there at the beginning. It was fun. I'm sure the water coming on helped a bunch. It really gets good when that water first comes on. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Another brown. And I'm guessing it's another stalker because he didn't have a lot of color either.